Hello and welcome to my mad tea party. I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole making tea bag inspired ephemera and art. So come along with me and I'll show you how you can take a basic idea and tutorial and spin it all kinds of different ways. Let's get started. Of Junk Journal Divas and watching this video, you've probably been on the kick where we've all been making things with tea bag paper or use tea bags to make beautiful little collages like this and tea bag inspired art and tags and all kinds of fun stuff, right? If you're not a member, don't worry. I'll put a link to this group in the description below and you can join us over there for some of the fun and all the inspirational photos and makes that we're doing over there. So my thought was, because I started going down a rabbit hole, of course, what else could I do that was kind of tea bag inspired, right? They've got a fun shape, they hold things, there's this cute little tag at the end. So I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, obviously, and I found a really cool video from Rose Hill Paper Cottage where she was making these awesome little tea bag shaped scrap booklets. And I thought they were the cutest stinking little thing. So I made this one thinking this would be fun to make an advent calendar and attach a tea bag and, you know, do all the things. And it would be a cute little Christmas idea, right? But then my little squirrel brain got out of control. And I made a few and decorated a few just to see, well, what else could we do with this? And is this something that I could do to send out some Diva Delights, which is this wonderful little Happy Meal kind of exchange program we do, again, in the group Junk Journal Divas. And I thought, oh, this would be great for a Diva Delight, right? So let's make some tea bag style things, not just little scrapbooklets that my cat is going to fight me for, but also maybe we could take that design and make some portfolios style holders for our ephemera or some shaker cards. This one just came to me this morning. It's the funnest little thing. Isn't that cute? Let's go. Okay. Or maybe we could add pockets, right? Isn't that great? What else can we do? We can make our tiny little scrap tag booklet, and then we can put it inside a little tea bag pocket that we make, and then we can put that inside of a tea bag style portfolio that we make, and we can put other ephemera inside it, and then we can really just get crazy, whoop it up, have fun, and have something fairly flat that you can send in your Diva Delights. So I'm going to show you the basic way that we're going to do this, and then you can decorate it, expand on it, do whatever you like. I will try to cover all kind of the portfolios as well. Okay. So where do you start and what do you need? Well, it's actually pretty simple. To start, all you need is, for the most basic version of this, all you need is some paper. I have a Christmas explosion around my desk right now, so we're going to do this with some Christmas paper. Let me get you guys in frame. Is that a little bit better? There we go. Okay, so this is just a normal 8.5 by 11, nothing special, nothing fancy. Zoom back out. Okay, so we're zoomed out for a little bit better view so that we can actually see the technique here. So what is this? It's just a basic 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. To make the most basic version of this and to learn the technique that you can then kind of put your own spin on, all you really need is some paper, some scraps, some string or thread or skinny ribbon works great. I love that. And a stapler. I've been using a tiny tiny attacher from Tim Holtz, but that is not necessary here. If you'd like to upgrade, you can use a ruler. I'm going to do that because I can't tear anything straight, but you're free to use kind of whatever you like. I'm just going to show you, this is just learn the technique, and then you can use it with literally any kind of paper, cardstock or book pages. That would be actually great. I would love to see some book page ones. So if you're a diva and you're doing this project, make sure you tag me so I can see your cool book page tags if you do those. So all you're going to do to start is you're really just going to tear off a piece of paper. And you can, if you want to make them all symmetrical, you can fold it in half longwise and then fold it a half, again, maybe shortwise, and kind of work it out with creasewise how you'd like to do it. I do everything a little wild, so I'm just going to figure out the size that I want my tea bag to be and give it a rip. Okay. So now you have just this lovely little strip of paper. And the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to create your top. So the most basic way to do this, as you can see, let me show you a little bit up close on this simple one. The most basic way to do this is to fold it over at the top so that you have an idea of kind of, this is going to be your top part of the tea bag. And then fold up your bottom to figure out where you would like your tea bag to end. Turn it over so you can see a little better, right? So this is about the size that I'm going to want my tea bag. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my bone folder. You could use anything. The back of a spoon works great. I do that a lot too. And then you're going to tear off your excess. And don't throw it away or worry, because you can actually have this in your little scrap bucket to make your scrap booklets for this one or others. Okay. So at this point, you have a couple options. You can, I made mine a little long, so you can either trim with scissors, or I'm going to fold it back so that I have a little bit more strength to my tuck and can kind of get it under there a little bit better, and then just make sure that it fits still under my tea bag top. Okay, and then I'm going to give that just a little bit of glue. Before I glue it, what I like to do is to reduce bulk just a little bit, is clip out the corners, almost like you were clipping a tag, right? And then we're just going to spooge some glue on there, fold it down, and this will make a little bit easier kind of tab to fit into your tea bag once you've got it done. Okay, so what's the next part? Well, you can stop there if you like. One thing you can do is just go ahead and clip off the corners to make it a little bit more tea bag shaped, right? If you want to ink it, now is a great time. I'm going to ink this one so that you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better, because it's a little... Probably picked a very busy paper for this one, but you know, when you're doing the thing, you just grab what's on your desk and you kind of work it through. We're all just playing here. There's no rules in junk journaling. Okay. Fabulous. So there you go. So you're almost done at this point if you just want to make a really simple one, which is fine, and they're super cute. I love them just like that. So to get your scraps in, all you're going to do is open your little strip up, grab some paper. I've got all kinds of things here. Let's see. I've got some digital scraps. I'm going to grab one there. This one's a little bit too wide, but that's not a big deal. We're just going to tear some off. Save that little guy. All right. How are we doing? How are we looking? I'm going to tear off this little margin. Yeah. Okay. And then you just tear it off kind of where you want it. You want to make sure that it's at least a little bit shorter than the crease, and that it also kind of reaches the top here. Because when you fold this down and you staple, you want to make sure that you actually have everything attached. So, just like journaling, that's kind of your shortest page, right? So or longest page. So if you measure everything against that, be it the same size or a different size, you'll kind of have it all right. And I do arrange these as I go along just to make sure I've got a cool looking thing with my scrap booklet. A little stack there. I wouldn't make these too thick because then you might not be able to get them closed. But I definitely, you can put 4 or 5 things in there. Experiment, play. I definitely would love to hear what everyone is doing and to see what everyone is doing too, because I think that's always the best part. I love it when somebody in the group posts something and then it kind of inspires just this waterfall of creativity that is so beautiful to see. Okay. I'm going to snip off this little white margin. Yeah, that's way cooler. Okay. My numbers, I want to have these numbers. Excuse me. All right. So now we're just going to put it into our little guy, right? I've got 1 or 2 too long here. Oh, I messed up the whole order of the universe. It's fine. I'll just turn it around. Sometimes, if I am really struggling with keeping all of my things together, I will stick a clip at the top just so I can make sure I've got everything, see, measured out correctly. Never be afraid to use tools. It's what separates us from animals. Okay. So now everything fits, right? I've got everything is above my crease. I can get it in here. I'm going to take my clip away. And then I'm going to put this all together. And I'm going to put my clip back on. And here's why, is because I forgot that I'm going to need a string for this. So let me grab a little string. This is, I think, some of Kristen's fuzzy yarn. And I'm going to tie a knot in the string because you don't want it to slide through the staple. This is something I just learned when I watched the tutorial from Rose Hill Paper. Okay. And then we're going to put it just like this and give it a staple. If this is really hard for you too, this might be a good time again to use a clip if you like to use them. Do it your way, do it your way. And you want to kind of get it right towards, you want to staple, look, oh, the star is in the perfect spot. Isn't that coincidental? Serendipitous. Okay, so we're going to staple right here where this little shining star is in the paper, because you don't want it too far down because you need your tab to slip in. So let's staple our string right on or by that little star. Okay. We're good, we're secure. If you want to trim off the end of your knot or the tail of your string close to your knot, you can do that. And now you've just created the most adorable little scrapbook lid. Did you see how fast that was? That literally took no time. So these are super, super fun. And then you can decorate them however you would like. I've done a couple where I've added lace, and then for our little tab on the end, I've put a little piece of paper. What else have I done? I've done just some piano paper and a little sentiment that says hello there for some happy mail. You can do this technique in a bigger size or any size that you would like. It does not have to be itty bitty inchy scrunchy. This one I did, let's take a look at the size. So this piece of paper is about 3.5 inches wide, and that makes a nice size too. And then you have a nice kind of set of scraps that you can put in there to put into Happy Mail, right? So you can, then they have something a little bit chunkier that they can use in their projects. If you want to get really fancy, I did try this. I actually really like the way this looks. And it's just, I used a border punch along that tab. I made this tab a little bit longer, used the border punch, and then added some fabrics and sari pieces inside for more Happy Mail. So as you can see, you can really take this all kinds of places. And that's kind of what I want to encourage everyone to do, because it's just super fun. And they're so darling. Like, I can't. And you can put anything you would like on the ends. I even, on one of these, let me see if I can find it here, I put a little rose, because isn't that going to be darling dangling out of something? Just a little fabric rose on a sweet little, yeah, I love that. Okay. So what else can you do with this kind of fold? It's, you know, this is a lot like origami, I think. And if you know anything, even a little tiny bit about origami, that's really just about folding paper. And once you know a few methods, you can apply it to anything. So like I said, we can do this in any size, and then we can take it a little bit further and create portfolios. So the first one I did, because what I really, really want to do with these is create, I'm going to lose everything off my craft desk. What I really want to do with these is create something that I can make for Happy Mail. And I'd like to have something, kind of some ideas that I can get started on it during the downtime, kind of that post-Christmas lull, and get it out to everybody for the new year. And if I have the time, I might make some of these as little hangover sets for some of my friends for New Year's. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So the first set I did, I wanted to kind of capture, where's my tea bag? Who knows? I wanted to capture that folded tea bag effect, right? Because I thought that was super, super cute. I thought, well, how can I close it if I make a portfolio? So on this one, I just used a Velcro dot. Those are really, really simple. And I'm going to show you the folding technique because it's a little bit different than the tag scrapbooks, but it's the same principle. So let's make, I'll make a bigger one here. I'm using scrapbook paper in this instance. You could use cardstock. You could use another sheet of digitals or 8.5 by 11 copy paper. You make it the size that you would like to fit your ephemera. Don't ask me to measure because I'm just not that person. I'm so sorry. This is junk journaling and we wing it here. We're chaos crafters. So I know I want my tea bag to be about the size. I want to make sure it fits in an envelope. I don't want it too chunky. So I'm going to go with about whatever this is, which is probably maybe 5 inches. We'll measure it. We'll measure it just for you who are watching who like measurements. Okay, let's see. So where are we at? We are at 5 inches. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take at the top and I'm going to make a little pyramid. Now you don't want to bring them completely together. You just want to get them, just make a general kind of fold to make a little, like you were making an envelope. How's that? Fold it as though you were going to make an envelope, right? Don't want to do that with my nail. That's why I have a bone folder. That's why my nails are wrecked, is I've just been abusing them making things. Moving on, moving on. So the next thing that you're going to do with this is I'm using my ruler here because I want my tabs to be generally about at the same place. Okay, can you see that? Perfect. So the next part is keep your ruler or any straight edge or wing it as I prefer. Get that on my way. Okay, and you want to make sure your little tip, this little guy here, you want to make sure when you fold that this top of your pyramid doesn't come down any further than the base, right? So you're going to fold it just like that. Okay, let me show you one more time. Super simple, easy. Just fold it just like that and get it. It does not have to be perfect. We're about progress, not perfection, as my favorite beauty YouTuber says. So don't try to get it perfect. It's going to be okay. All right. And it almost stays by itself like that once you've given it a good crease. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our bottom just like we did in the other one. But on this one, we're going to bring it up a little bit past. We want everything to kind of be even with what this looks like a tag top right now, right? So fold it over. Don't give it a full crease at the bottom yet, and I'm going to show you why. If you are mobility problems like me, I like to clip the tops together so that I can do this next part a little bit easier. If you could use a paper clip, it doesn't have to be one of these clips. Use whatever will cinch two pieces of paper together. But basically the idea here is you want to have your top even and then just clip off. You're not going to clip off your folded part. You're just going to clip off this white paper part where you can see this writing on the paper. So just clip that off and make it as symmetrical as you can to everything else, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay. And then the next part is I'm going to advise you to stop and check your fitment. What does that mean? It just means make sure your little tab sticks into your little folded pyramid, right? So now we have kind of an exclamation shape here. You're going to go ahead and give it a good crease. Lovely. And you can 100% stop there if that's how you would like it, right? Because that's how wow, I've got a good fit here. Hold on 1 second. I have one crease in the middle, my little top. We look like a tea bag. We could end it there. In fact, that's kind of how I did it for this one. Instead of, I made it long enough. Let me show you the comparison here. So if you're making this a little bit easier on yourself, I folded my pyramid and then I just bring this part up and put my Velcro dot here and here, right? So you can see that here. So here's a Velcro dot, here's a Velcro dot. It looks like a tea bag. It's got a closure. You can put your little string on it. You can wrap it around. You can add your pockets. You can collage the inside. You could do whatever you would like. It's that simple. If you want to do a little bit further, because I kind of, I really like the look of the folded tea bag top, right? I think that's super cute. Let me show you this decorated one I did that I think nailed it on. Isn't that, that's cute, right? Okay. So the way that I did that is you're going to put your paper in, check your fitment, right? Make sure, if you look here, you can see that I've got, if I open up the fold, you can see that I've got a little, it goes right up. I've got barely, not even 1/8 of an inch of clearance there at my little fold, right? So what I'm going to do is just trim off. This is convenient with the dot paper. I might be able to cut this straight. I'm just going to trim off about, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. Check my fitment again. So now I have a little gap here, right? Now, this is where your staple is going to go. And in a moment, you will see and understand why. This is a good time if you want to ink your project. I would take a moment and ink. My advice for that is always ink where you're folding, because that just makes it easier, right? Okay. Now we're going to go and we're going to take our string. Let's do one that's not fuzzy so you can really see. Tie a knot in our string. There we go. Got our knot, right? We're gonna, hello Raven! Welcome to the tea party, my dear. All right, move your flap out of the way. And then we're gonna, oh, she saw the string. That's why she's up here. Okay. Can you get down for me? I don't need your help. Raven. Come on. Here, do you want a string of your own? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Over here. Come on. If you come down, you can have it. There you go. Okay. Let's take 2. So when you put your staple in, you're going to want to staple just like we did with that other one, right on as close to the edge as possible. What you're thinking about is your little gap in there, right? And you want it to, you can almost feel it. If you feel around with your finger, you can almost feel the little gap. It's right about where you want to get your staple. Okay. So we're going to do this. You can use a tiny attacher. I've done that on some. I'm just using a regular staple because I assume that's what most people have available. Okay. She's playing down there, so I apologize if you're hearing all kinds of strange noises from the Langoliers on my floor. So let's check our fitment and make sure our tab, everything does fabulous. Isn't that cute? Do you love it? I love it. Okay, so you can just like this. You can collage it. You can decorate it. You can put pockets inside it. You can put a belly band inside it, and you can send it off as Happy Mail and fill it with ephemera. You could do whatever you would like. I did add one extra little step, and I'll show you on this collaged one. No, where's my collaged one? Hold, please. Hold, please. Okay. So let me show you on this collage one, kind of a little extra step I did, which made it a little bit extra fun, I thought. When you are folding your tea bag, right, you have your one crease, and do you remember the gap that we had at the top? I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. Don't use your fingers, Phoebe. I'm going to go ahead and open this one up so I can show you the difference and how we did this, because I want to make this as easy to understand for everyone. Okay, so what I did here is, if you look at the bottom, you can see that I've got this cute little tea bag shape, kind of. I've glued it so it's not the crease, it's not as lovely. Hold on, let's give that a good, because you know I collaged it after I made it, because order of operations is not my strong suit. Okay, so what I've done here is I've made a little tea bag shape at the bottom by folding it double, right? So when you put your tag into here, then on the back you almost have a little spine. Now, if I had measured this, it would definitely have come out much better. This is just kind of me experimenting and figuring out what I want to do with these. I did make one that did come out much better, and as you can see, it's got a cute little tea bag, kind of the little bag shape at the bottom, right? And it's literally just that simple. So it's just, rather than snipping and trimming off this gap at the top, you're going to use this gap to create that little extra kind of fold at the bottom. And to do that, you're going to do that by, let me show you. I hope you can see on this paper. You're going to take your cover, let's say, we're calling this, and you just want to kind of scooch it down, right? So you scooch it down, and then you get like this little bit of volume at the bottom, right, of your paper, which is exactly what you want, because that's what helps you kind of create that extra fold for the spine. I trimmed too much off of this, so I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. So now I've got, and we can try it a little bit on the other side. I don't know if that's going to work on this one. I might have to make another one and show you that technique. Well, let's do the front. So that you basically want your original center fold, and then a fold kind of 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, as whatever seems reasonable to you, away from that center crease. So what you end up with is 3 little creases. Can you see those? Oh, this is awful paper for that. 3 little creases. So you've got kind of, fold one in, so you're making a bird. And at this point, if you would like to fly away in my video because I'm driving you insane, feel free. And then you can fold it back up at the other 2 creases to make a sweet little kind of bag shape for your portfolio. You could probably do this with a junk journal and make it into a junk journal cover if you really wanted to go that far. And then the same as before, you're just gonna put your string on, tie a knot in your string. We got one here. We'll use this guy. Tie a knot in your string. This is a little bit easier to get your fitment right on too, right? Knot in the string, staple right by the edge. That was a terrible staple. Let's do one more. We'll do a little one. Okay. And as you can see, you end up with this cute little tea bag shape. This one's inchy scrunchy, but cute little tea bag shape at the bottom. A nice inside that you can put all kinds of fun things in. You can collage it on the inside if your inside is white like mine. I made some of these with a little bit heavier scrapbook paper cardstock, and that seems to work really, really well. I really like that. So that's just a little tip I'm going to give you. So that's how you're going to make this technique I just showed you, right? We've made the small tea bags, okay? We've done it a little bit bigger with a little bit fancier of a fold. And just an FYI for you is if you would like to make this tea bag top in little tiny scrapbook booklet style, that does work. I did try it. You're probably going to make yourself crazy getting your staple in, but if you've got a baby stapler or one of these little tiny attachers, it does help because there's not a lot of like room there, right? But you can do it in a very small scale. But as you can see, it can be tough. Like I didn't get this piece of scrap attached. But it might be cute if you did that and then put a little sentiment inside so that when they open it, there's a little like, you're wonderful or you're lovely or go away, I can't stand you. I don't know. I'm making jokes now. But very cute, right? Okay. So now you know this technique works big, small, range of projects. What I'm going to show you now is a couple spin-offs of that. And let me take you through, I made this little Christmas one. Get some stuff out of the way here. So I made this little Christmas one and I thought that it was really pretty cute and it was a great idea. Super simple, right? So I've got a tea bag and it doesn't have to be Christmas. You guys, Christmas is almost over, but if you wanted to make one maybe as like a gift card holder for a last minute present or something like that, great idea. Okay, we've got our little tea bag volume. It's decorated on the front, just some random ephemera and stickers. And then inside I've collaged the inside. I've done a double pocket and a belly band, right? Super cute. And then from there, you can actually start putting in some of your fun little ephemera, right? So maybe you made a big one. Is she going to fit in there? Yeah, maybe. And then maybe you made a little bit smaller one, right? And then maybe you made a little tea bag one. We'll put her in there. I realize these don't match. That's we're working on. I'm going to be making more of these. Don't worry. Okay. So then you can, and then maybe you made a bigger one and you can put that under the belly band, right? Okay. And then you've got the cutest little fold up kind of treat to send as Happy Mail. And it really, it's so easy to get in an envelope. If you don't put like a bigger piece sticking up out of it, let me show you. It's a perfect little bloop. Isn't that cute? Okay. So let me show you how you can really like be extra if you would like to be extra with this. So I, of course, made one in the little tiny size. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I'd like to maybe include some ephemera or what have you. So I made a little, you know, the paper packets that tea bags come in. You're going to love this. Okay. And yes, the tea bag fits right in there. Just like that. You can hang your little tag out, put your little dooley bobber on the end. Because that's the other part of this, right? Is what you put on the end of your tea bag. You know, use your imagination. I've used some heart punches. I've used some tiny tags just stapled on. Some little tiny little heart punches. You probably can't see that. There you go. Right? On this one, I didn't put a tag. I just used some tassel yarn that I got from Kristen. That was really fun. This one's got a little fabric rose. Like, go crazy. Go crazy. You could put a bead there, or you could put a postage stamp. 2 postage stamps stapled together. This one's got a little piece of fabric. Live your best life. Live your best life. So let me show you how to make this. This is crazy easy. You guys are going to love this. I'm going to use the same paper because that's just what's in front of me. you're going to tear off a strip of paper. Do you see how crooked that is? It's fine, it doesn't matter because we're not going to use this whole length of this strip, right? Uh-oh. Please, power, don't go out. Please, power, don't go out. We've been having storms here, so I'm hoping that we don't lose power or my cats don't kill each other. All right. So the important thing here is I don't like to measure, but you do want to make sure that your tea bag is going to fit inside your pocket with enough room to glue your edges. This does not, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just for the sake of making it for you. So you just fold up. You want to make sure that your width and length are a little bit bigger than your tea bag, right? As I've done here. So you can see, if you see the blue is a little bit wider, so I've got plenty of room to glue around, right? Make a fold. Just like when we made the tea bag itself, we're going to fold the other side down. So now we're making our flap, just like maybe we were making like a little pocket for a junk journal, right? Okay, and then instead of just, you can cut straight across. If you would like to cut this straight across and have a nice little square because you probably tore it straight, tea bag holder, you're more than welcome to do that. But what I like to do is I like to bend it just a little bit. And I want to have this this point here. So I know that I want to cut, let me uncrease this. I know that I want to cut 2 triangles off of the side. So what I do is I bring my corners together. And I make sure that my fold is in my left hand because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you want to make sure the fold is on your right-hand side. I'm right-handed, fold on left side. And then I'm just going to cut off a little triangle on the corner just like I was cutting tacks. And you've got a lovely little flat square shape. You can take it a step further if you would like and use a hole punch to make a little notch so that you can slip your tea bag into that, and that's what I've done here. If you don't have something to make a notch, that's okay too. Before you glue it, you can fold again. Get that fold on your left-hand side if you are right-handed, and just cut a little corner off. And then you'll have a lovely little V to match your notch at your top, right? So don't let that hinder you if you feel like oh, I don't have a round punch, I can't make these. You can do anything. I believe in you. Okay. So there we go, right? We've got a tea bag, it's a portfolio, we've filled it full of ephemera, we've got scrap booklet tea bags, we've got all kinds of things to send to our friends. How else would we like to make this a little fun? Well, I have a couple ways, as a matter of fact. Let me find them so that I can show you. So the first thing I did was I thought these would be really cute for like fussy cut ephemera or little stamps or little die cuts or whatever you might want to send. But because these scrap booklet style, it's just an open edge. So everything's going to fall out if you do it that way. So what I did here was I just took a little vellum, or you could use other paper. You could use lace. You could use fabric. You could use, if you wanted it to be clear and see-through, you could use like a sheet protector material. You could use a piece of lamp. Like, the list goes on and on what you can make a pocket with, right? All I did was make a pocket and sew it onto one side of the tea bag. And I've used the same principle that we have for our larger portfolio, right? Where we just fold it down, make a gap, put a glue dot in the gap. This is fold it down, make a gap, make sure our staple is over in the gap, right? And then we've got a nice pocket, and we've got a pocket full of ephemera that we can put into our fun little portfolio that we're going to send to our friends for Happy Meal. Right? Okay. So then I had, in our craft group, we have a lovely person who's very inspiring, and recently she sent me a shaker cart for whatever reason, despite my love of glitter, I had never made a shaker card before. So I've been working my way around how to do it. And she came to me in a dream last night and inspired me to make this little glitter shaker bag, tea bag. I die, right? Isn't that super cute? Oh my gosh. I sneak and love it. Okay. So let me show you how to make that really quick because it's basically the same thing. All you're going to do is you make your little tea bag top fold like I showed you, right? And then you just cut it off. And then if you want to make a bunch of these, you can make like a bunch more on the same piece of paper, what have you, whatever you're doing. But you cut it off. But before you cut it off, if you're using double-sided paper, that works great. If you're not, I would fold it this way. So before you cut it off, just fold it in, right? Like you're folding down the top of an envelope. Okay, so you see, so now it looks like our little tag top is bent over. And then cut right along your fold, approximately, generally, as close as you can. Trim your corners. And now you have kind of a symmetrical version of what you had. If you're using double-sided paper, you can just fold it over. I was not using double-sided paper, so I had to very carefully, oh God help me, cut along the crease. And then that gave me something to kind of glue together and pinch together the top of my actual tea bag inside of, right? Because you want this to be sealed up really well because we love our friends and we like to send them glitter, but we don't want them to have glitter all over their craft room unless you're me and you terrorize your friends with glitter. That's what I do. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take, you can do this with kind of any kind of vellum or fabric or netting or tulle. I'm going to show you with this little scrap of tulle actually this is bad because it's not very, let me just grab a piece of the tulle. My goodness. So I have this, I use this tulle with stars and moons on it in a costume project. And it's literally invaded everything I make now because I'm just in love with it. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. The first and the easy way, I hope you guys can see this, is to fold your tulle. You want a rectangle of tulle, right? Let me get something so that you can maybe actually see. There we go. Okay. Is that a little, yeah, well. Oh, it's invisible tulle. It's invisible tulle. Okay. So what you're going to do is you just want about a rectangle size of tulle. I hope the glitter can kind of outline the space. You're going to do your tulle in proportion to your top, right? So I'm going to fold the tulle over and then I sew, so I'm going to take it to the machine and you can run stitching down both sides. Leave your top open because you're going to need to have something to put your glitter or your confetti or whatever you're using inside the shaker into the actual bag piece of the shaker, right? So we're going to pretend that I've sewn these two sides. You can also fold it over when you sew if you're concerned about the tulle. I didn't do that, but now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably a better way to do it than the way that I did it. So make sure it has enough room to fold it over. But you're basically just going to put your glitter in, tuck your little top into, or tuck your top after you put your glitter in, into your little topper, right? And I'm going to show you why you need this extra piece in a minute. Just hang in there with me. So you stick this. You should probably check your fitment first. I did not because I'm just trying to show you guys how to do this. So I'm just going to trim it up a little bit here. So that's what we do. We work through our mistakes. Yeah. Okay. shove it into your topper, give it a glue, and then it should be a perfectly functional shaker bag with actual shaker items in it. My cat Bun Bun's climbing up my back right now. Come on. Goodbye, Bun Bun. Oh my gosh, you're so big. That is Bun Bun. He has 16 pounds of fun, and he is my most stubborn cat. Okay. So here's your little shaker bag. Fabulous, right? It's actually sewn up on the sides because you're doing things properly. And then it's full of glitter, and it's very, very, very big fun. Another way that you can do this, because I wanted it to have, you know how some tea bags have that little like loop, right? So you can kind of move the glitter around, see it in different levels. So that's really easy too. All you do is you fold over your tool, right? So here's, if I'm looking at this and I'm going to make my tea bag shaker, and I want the top here, and I want this section to be my bags, I'm going to fold it over what I would call longwise. And then you just want to do one seam down this side. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm going to run over to the sewing machine upstairs, and I'm going to make that seam really quick. Ta-da! Okay, I've also given Bun Bun treats, so maybe I'll get through the rest of this video without him attacking me. So if you're looking at what I've done, you can see I've done my stitching along the tool in like an L shape, right? Down one side, down the long side, and down one short side, because what I want is to have like a tube. And I liked doing it this way because it gave me a little bit easier way to put the glitter in. I used a funnel. Trim off your excess seam allowance, which is this little bit that hangs off. You don't have to. I just like to. Do you, boo-boo, do you. And then all you're going to do is take your bottom of your L and fold it up. Once you have your glitter and your things inside, right? Let me just show you. I'll put some things in there, and then we can all see what it looks like. This doesn't match at all, but it'll work. Okay. So now this is chunkier glitter confetti, and I don't have a funnel, so I'm just gonna stick it in there so you can get the idea. I think this is for an engagement party. I got it because it had stars in it. And I just love stars. Okay. So now you've got your little shaker bits in your tool, right? You're just going to fold it up and take the bottom of your L, bring it to the top of your tea bag. And then you're just going to put it in your appropriately sized tea bag top. This is not the correct scale at all. And I like this one because you can I guess you don't need a second piece, but if you didn't have a backing, then you definitely would need a second piece. So you can probably skip that part if you're doing this, but if you're following along with me, then you now have an extra piece of paper, and you're very welcome. Okay. So you get the point, right? Yeah. Okay. We put it in the topper, and then I used some fabric tack to kind of hold mine all together, and I glued it. I opened up the topper, I glued inside, and then I stapled my little tab with my little string, and I've got a cute little shaker card. So there you go. Have fun. Go make some crazy. Have a tea party of your own. Invite your friends. I hope that this will give you something to kind of tide you over through the Christmas holidays, or the holidays, or the season, as I try to call it these days. Merry everything, as my good friend, the HalfAssCrafter, would say. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in this video. And again, don't forget to check the description of this video for links to some of my crafty fins, as well as the Facebook group Junk Journal Divas, where you can find me and all of our other friends making these cool projects and sharing our photos and doing some Happy Mail exchanges and doing some swaps. There's all kinds of stuff going on over there. And we would love to have you. We're a very supportive group. Feel free to join us anytime. Thanks. I really had fun crafting with you today. I look forward to seeing what you do with this tutorial, and have a great day. Bye.